You know, I got into Digimon rather late. It wasn't until the series was into Frontier that I started watching after a friend of mine introduced me to it proper, but I fell in love almost immediately. And while I may have done some things I regret regarding it, oh god, what have I done? I'm still proud to say I'm a fan of the series. And being a massive gamer, I've loved playing the Digimon games that I could get my hands on. So we have an idea of the perspective I have. My favorite season is Frontier, the best season is obviously Tamers, and my favorite Digimon game is Digimon World 2. Yeah, even though it's a slow grind fest, I love the game to pieces. I've also got experience with Digimon World 1, 3, Dawn Dusk, Championship, I've played Digital Card Battle, I've at least seen gameplay of Next Order, and I've got Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth on the back burner waiting for me to dig into it. However, you and I have unfinished business. Okay, so our story begins with our main character, Marcus Damon.
Digimon?
Okay, Marcus Diamond. Great start! Anyway, Marcus is beginning a digital dive. Oh, for those not in the know, the Savers/Data Squad universe takes place in a universe where there is a literal Digimon police force, and they try to both keep Digimon out of the public eye and make sure they don't wreck things, along with entering the digital world from time to time in preemptive strikes or chases. It's kind of like MIB, but for Digimon, and not funny or entertaining. They even have little memory erasing devices, just so you know what they're ripping off. He dives in and... Where are your goggles? No, seriously, where are your goggles? You are the face of the team, damn it. It is a rule that you wear goggles. It's already bad enough that I hate you as a character. You don't even have the decency to wear the proper gear? Anyway, Ryan and his partners with Takatomon over here. Really? You were that bankrupt of ideas for Digimon that you made a new version of Agumon. You couldn't think of any other ideas for Saurian, Draconic, or just outright fire-related Digimon. You couldn't have given him a Dracomon, Coronamon, Ryutamon, Demimeramon, Hackmon, even Dorumon. Or you could just make up a new Digimon entirely? Maybe an Archaeopteryxmon or something? Or was this just a cheap ploy to try and hook on to a nostalgia factor? So we get control and wow, okay. You think you can zoom in the camera a little bit further? I can still see some scenery. So we can't even walk 5 steps before getting jumped on, and we are introduced to the combat. You know, it's been a long time since I've played a game with combat this staggeringly incompetent. First off, it takes a good 8 seconds, give or take 2 seconds, for every battle to actually load in the first place. Combine this with an encounter rate through the roof, as well as no environment map, and you will be praying you don't get lost, which will happen as the levels get more and more labyrinthine. And then, that goddamn music. This EDM music totally gets you pumped for a fight, am I right? This will change when the second and third acts start for reasons that I still do not understand, but I suppose I should stop stalling and talk about the actual combat. So, the combat is bog standard turn-based, which is the only thing the game does right. Whichever monster has the highest speed goes first, and it calculates turns from there. And at that point, everything goes straight to hell. So, when it's a PC's turn, the command screen comes up surrounded by a crap ton of hexes that have something written on them. Sometimes they're red, some blue, and some yellow. No green, so if you're red-green colorblind, you don't have that problem. Well, I say that. There is one green hex, but we'll worry about that in a moment. These correspond to your main actions, and I will get back to those smaller hexes in a moment. Action is your attack command, and I will refer to it as attack from here on in. Guard is your support command, allowing you not only defense, but buffs and heals and stuff. Escape is, well, the escape command. Support is actually the idiot menu so that the corresponding idiot can use items or affect emotions or whatever. Oh yeah, the emotions. I'll get back to that. So here's the first problem with the commands. If you do not see a corresponding hex for that command, you cannot select it. Period. No yellow hexes? No guard for you. No blue hexes? Well, I hope you weren't planning on running from this fight. Even better, when you select a command that isn't support, you don't get to choose what command they do. They will simply automatically do the command they want to do the most. So, as an example, with this tutorial battle, Agumon has more hexes for Pepper Breath than Sharp Claw, meaning that he wants to use the attack Pepper Breath the most. If I just choose the attack command, he will automatically use Pepper Breath. If I want him to use Sharp Claw, I have to actually select one of the hexes with that attack. And sure, this looks fine right now, but late in the game you will get this cluster of hexes and you just won't know what to do. And then, there's the emotion mechanic. See, the reason why certain hexes do or don't show up is because certain emotions are high relative to others. I actually have no idea how this mechanic works. No, I'm serious. I know there are 4 emotions: strong will, tension, anger, and sympathy. I know that low health can lower strong will, and that will make your Digimon more willing to flee. I think that high anger increases the proportion of attack hexes to guard hexes, and I think using attack steadily increases anger. And I know there's a hidden friendship meter that increases if you do the action the Digimon wants to do the most. That's all I know. I have no idea what tension or sympathy does. I have no idea how the emotions are kept track. And I have not a freaking clue what it means to turn an emotion inside out. In desperation, I checked the instruction booklet, and here's what it says on the emotion mechanic. Possible commands are displayed around your Digimon to reflect your Digimon's state of mind. If you select a command that has a lot of duplicates, your Digimon will jump for joy and like you more. This is the basis of the emotional command system. When a Digimon is feeling tough, lots of action commands will appear. On the other hand, when a Digimon has taken a lot of damage and is feeling weak, lots of guard and escape commands will appear. The more a Digimon likes your partner, the more damage its attacks will deal to the enemy. If you and your Digimon don't get along well, the damage it deals will be less. Always consider the situation you're in before acting, but it's usually best to choose the command that is being displayed the most so that you'll be on good terms with your Digimon. If you wish to change the commands that are being displayed, try choosing a command or item that you haven't used. If your Digimon is feeling weak, select Cheer Up to make your Digimon feel tougher and make more action commands appear. You'll note how that explains nothing about the emotions. I've tried Game FAQs and Neoseeker and got back jack. The only thing I haven't tried is running this game on an emulator and finding cheats to hard code emotional values to figure out what in the hell this does, and I don't even know if I can do that. This would be bad enough if it just affected how you can fight, but no! Certain Digivolutions can only be reached when your Digimon has an emotion in a certain value, but the game never tells you what the value you currently have, only the one you need. This leads to the endless frustration of guessing and checking where you are on the emotional scale, and you can't manipulate some emotions until you reach certain levels, and those levels are different for each idiot. And did I mention that each idiot can only manipulate their Digimon's emotions? Simply put, this system is bungled horribly and is the millstone around this game's neck. You know what? As long as I'm ranting, I might as well get to the Digivolutions before I get back to the plot. I mean, sure, the Digimon World games have had Digivolution systems that were esoteric at best. Digimon World 2, I'm looking at you. But at least they used a basic level and stat structure. But this is Data Squad, where there's no such thing as a good idea. So on top of the level, kill, and Digivolution prereqs, we have stuff like escaping a certain number of battles per Digimon, or the total damage dealt by that Digimon. And those are just the individual ones. I mean, steps taken? Bits spent? Treasure chests opened? What is this shit? Who's the brain-dead monkey who designed this system? And you know what? This would still be crap if it was just for the extraneous Digivolutions. Stuff like being able to play as the villains, you know? But no! When we unlock Kenan, because of course he's in this game, his Canon Ultimate, Yatsugarumon, has the requirement of having 20k bits on your person. And that's not including the bits you've already spent on the useless shop. Oh, I almost forgot. Because this is Data Squad and everything in it is a bad idea, you can't digivolve into a Digimon freely. Once you've completed the requirements for a Digivolution, you actually have to digivolve in a battle, which is always great when you, say, digivolve from Ultimate to Rookie in the middle of a boss fight. Even better, because this is Data Squad, Marcus can only digivolve Agumon after punching an opponent. I guess Marcus can only get revved up if he hurts someone. Agumon, you slut! You better digivolve! Even better, this punch actually deals damage to the enemy Digimon, which means that yes, you can actually KO the final boss by punching him with a human. I cannot begin to count the number of ways that is wrong, but it really just goes to show how brokenly overpowered Marcus is in the Data Squad universe. No, I do not have footage of this. I'm not doing that grind. Oh, and if the battle ends because you killed the last Digimon with that punch, the Digivolution doesn't count. Sorry, boss, I lost the mood. Think you can do it one more time for me? Anyway, we're here on Walter Island to find Tylomon. Tyromon. Localizations. Anywho, he's been wrecking stuff somewhere. It actually never explains what he's been doing to warrant being hunted down and destroyed. It just says he's been destroying boats, but it doesn't specify if it's in the real world or the digital world. I mean, I assume it's the real world considering it's Data Squad, but we hopped into the digital world because Dats likes to waste resources. I mean, to stop him, turn him into a Digi-Egg, bring him back to the real world, and then send him back. That's not the punchline. They have actually done that. Isn't that kind of like capturing a criminal in another country, extraditing him, and punishing him by deporting him back to that country? Am I reading too much into this? Why can't you do anything right, Data Squad? It's at this point that I'd like to make a note. I want to figure out where in the Data Squad show this game fits. It has to be between episodes 1 and 48. It can't be after 48 because of how that show ends, and it can't be before 1 for obvious reasons. I'm sure this game will fit somewhere in the timeline, just trust me on it. But anyway, we're at least after episode 5 because we've done a digital dive now. I will be keeping a running tally as we go along, so pay attention. So, we beat up the target Digimon, all is well, when suddenly... Creepymon? Creepymon! That's the fake name you come up with for an unidentified Daemon. You could have gone with
mysterious Digimon called Creepymon.
Are you Yes, I am aware that Creepymon is his Bandai Namco official name. So Daemon beats the tar out of him, but suddenly freaks out and vanishes after taking one look at his Digivice, obviously horrified that such a colossal jackass could get one of those. At that point, Yoshino comes in to bail us out. We're then treated to the kidnapping of a little girl. No, really, just a random girl being kidnapped. I'm sure it doesn't affect the plot at all. Also Renamon. Because reasons. So, rendezvousing with HQ gives our idiots their next target, Bakemon, in Sneyato Forest? Sneyato Forest. Let's go with that. Ino joins our idiot and little slut, and our idiots are going to meet Thomas there. Yay! Oh, Digimon fans might actually recognize Ino's voice because that's the same VA as Sora from Adventure 01. Naruto fans will also recognize Ino's voice because she's Ino in that show, which is why I'm calling her Ino instead of Yoshi. Though, thanks to Agumon, she does have a giant lizard following her around.
Yoshi! We'll always make a cute and happy pair. Isn't that right, Yoshino?
How much helium did you ingest for that voice, Dorothy? Anywho, the forest is an annoying little puzzle, though it's not terrible as the first puzzle. See, the boss is behind a purple door, but there are only red keys and blue keys. Red keys open red doors, and blue for blue. The trick is, when both are active, only the purple door is open, meaning you have to loop the area a couple of times before you can actually get the door open and have it be accessible. This would be simple if it weren't for the goddamn encounter rate! We also meet Salamon here, who is our cheat sheet for checking on the individual stats each Digimon has so that we know where we are in the damn Digivolution requirements. Seriously, it's at a point that I'd recommend an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of this crap. She also gives items based on her total kill count, saying she collects Digi-Eggs, which is nothing short of creepy when you remember what those Digi-Eggs are. For those of you who aren't in the know, this would basically be the equivalent of you talking to a random person on the street and them mentioning how they collect human skeletons.
I found that Garurumon fur makes a great blanket, and their skin makes a fine lampshade.
Anyway, while we're dealing with this dumb puzzle, they randomly start talking about how there are children that have gone missing. Specifically, 5 of them. Remember that number. It will be important. Also, this conversation comes out of goddamn nowhere and just forces the plot down your throat with no sense of tact. You also find this old bastard who spouts out random words of wisdom to our idiots, and he's responsible for giving idiot number 1 his little slut's dungeon, so we can blame him for the blight that is Marcus Damon. And before I see it in the comments, yes, this old bastard is actually the Commander General of DATS. I know, just calm your titties and let me get on with this. Also, this game calls him the Director. Whoops! Oh, good. It's Thomas and his little bitch, Galmon. Get it? Because Galmon is a dog?
Would a dog wear boxing gloves?
Screw you, I thought it was funny. Anyway, Thomas joins our idiots for this fight with Bakemon. But what's this? Just on the brink of death, it's digivolving into... Myotismon? Okay. What about Phantomon? Hello? You wouldn't even need to put a new model into the game, you could just reskin the Bakemon. Given how lazy everything else in this game is, just why? Why can't you do anything right, Data Squad? All seems lost when suddenly a new voice calls us, telling us that... Jesus Christ, I'm gonna cut a gouge into that record at this rate. Really? We're gonna be mixing that in as well. Sure, let's just confuse everyone who didn't own an actual Digivice back in the day. Hey, while we're at it, we could get the X antibody in this and oh boy, here we go. Okay, so I'll do my best to explain what this game is on about. See, a long time ago, back when the first Digivices came out, an expansion called Pendulum came out, and these were all themed around types of Digimon. So you had Deep Savers about waterfaring mons, Nature Spirits for bestial mons, and so on. Still not sure where Jungle Troopers came from though. Anyway, this is also related to a manga that came out a little bit before Data Squad called Digimon Next, which introduced the 8 Digimemories, at which point the concepts kind of fused, or dare I say, jogressed, into this monstrosity that you see in game. If you've played the DS games that were released about the same time as this, then you're familiar with the element system. Same idea. So as mentioned, there are 8 elements for want of a better term. Virus Busters, Nightmare Soldiers, Dragon's Roar, Nature Spirits, Deep Savers, Winged Guardians, Jungle Troopers, and Metal Empire. Wait, what the hell? Virus Busters, Nightmare Soldiers... I just listed those from memory and matched them according to their opposites in-game by accident. God, I'm a nerd. Anywho, as mentioned, each element is paired with another, so VB is effective against NSO and vice versa. That does raise questions as to how fish effectively fight birds, but I suppose it makes just as much sense as insects and plants doing electricity damage, Digimon World DS. God, I wish I was playing Legend of Dragoon right now. Now, as for the X antibody, its existence involves me explaining half the plot of a movie that was itself adapted from a manga that came out alongside one of the Digivice series. So, to keep things simple, let's just say some Digimon are very special, and they have a special program as part of their code that makes them a bit more powerful than your standard fare. Salamon is not one of those Digimon. So where did she get it? I didn't realize this was a physical thing you could just put in your pocket and be like, here you little slut, let me stuff this down your throat so you can digivolve into a new, stronger version of this other Digivolution you have. What, did you pull it from your collection of corpses, Salamon? I bet you have a chandelier made from the bones of a Skull Satamon, too. What are you hiding, you sick fuck? Also, is that who I think it is?
Hold on, I'm coming!
Okay, I didn't realize that DATS was gonna get the BSAA involved over some missing kids. No, this is actually Kagura, an old friend of Thomas who was called in because of a new and interesting area showing up called, well, the Dark Area. Why is it called that? Because no one knows a thing about it. And Kagura is supposed to be an expert on a thing that no one knows anything about. No, I'm not joking. I've edited this footage purely for brevity.
It's a dark area in the digital world. An area that hasn't been analyzed yet.
I've been called in to investigate since I'm an expert on the dark area.
As a real explanation, though, it turns out one of the missing kids is his sister. You remember that random girl we saw get disappeared? That's her. Now, just to confuse the people who don't know Japanese naming conventions, the girl's name is Yuma Kagura. Kagura's full name is Tsukasa Kagura, but for reasons that I don't understand, he's referred to as Kagura. I mean, I know in Japan people are usually referred to by family name, but I mean that in the context of the dub. He doesn't hold high rank, and he appears to be about the same age as Thomas. Then again, Keenan is referred to as Crier, so hell if I know anymore. And that's part 1 over and done with. The link to part 2 is in the description, or you could watch the mega cut of this, also in the description. This is Maniac Kid 25, signing out.